This is Chris Kell with just a simple explanation of your client's off-day fitness program. A big part of selling our clients in this long-term programming concept is the idea that we're giving them structure in terms of exactly what to do for cardio, stretching, and strength training in their off days. So for example, if your client trains with you only 2 days a week for 30 minutes, obviously they're going to need more structure in terms of meeting their goals. Alright, so we provide them a kind of a firm template of what we would suggest. Although you'll have clients of varying levels of compliance, we want to check on them and make sure that they're doing this stuff, so the onus is on them to get the result that they're looking for. Alright, so just starting out with our first section here, the first thing we're going to do is go over this with them. Alright, you're going to find this in our lobby on our client on the client warm-up board, right above our daily planner here. Alright, so the first thing you're going to do is just take them, show them various parts of the plan here, and we're going to start with what is called our client fitness schedule. Alright, the first thing that you'll notice is a sample workout schedule. Alright, we kind of base this upon whether the client is looking for fat loss, strength and muscle gain. This might be weight maintenance, or they're looking to train for a specific sport, or if they need to stretch, right? If they're really locked up and that's they have postural improvements that we need to do. And just kind of going down the line here. All right, we have recommendations for strength training, conditioning, flexibility, and core training. All right, those are the components of our off-day program. And if moving down to the sample schedule here, we just plug those in for the specific days. All right, and we use the fat loss example here. So on day one, I'm looking for the client to do strength training and their conditioning routine. Okay, for day two, they're doing their mobility circuit, their stretching circuit, and cardio once again. Alright, on day three, strength training and conditioning. Day four, which would be Thursday, mobility and circuit training, and so on. Alright, with that said, once again, we just modify that based upon their goal, and we plug those things in. Alright, now the other thing to consider is that if your client is training with you 2 days a week, strength training, so on Monday and Wednesday they're coming in to train with you, then they only need to do their off-day strength training routine, obviously 1 day a week. Okay, and their other days we want them doing their mobility and their cardio, and just making sure that they're getting what they need. Alright, now moving on, alright, we have their strength training workout A. Okay, workout A begins with a core training circuit. Alright, and we're just going to perform each of those exercises as instructed here. So hold plank, side plank, bridge, and bird dog for 30 seconds, or perform 12 to 15 reps as a side lying leg lift. Perform each exercise back to back. Alright, this is set up as a circuit, and they simply perform these things back to back 2 or 3 times in terms of whatever is indicated there that month. Alright, from there they move on to their strength training. Okay, and they perform each exercise back to back for 8 to 10 reps. If they can do more than 8 to 10, obviously they need to move up in a weight. Once again though, we're performing this as a circuit. So they've got push-ups, split stance rows, and step-ups, just perform back to back 3 times. So this is basically set up as we might do a personal training session, but the idea is they can do this on their own. They can either come into our gym or they can execute it in their own facility. Now they end with their conditioning routine, and again, they just pick one exercise from or 1 to 2 exercises from below. Okay, they're going to perform each exercise back to back for 10 reps, and then they're counting down to 1 by 1. But whatever that means, it explains it here, and it also gives them a heart rate target that we want to stay in. Okay, so in general, that workout is going to take around 30 to 45 minutes, and as well, we provide them with a workout A and a workout B. So if they do A on Monday, they might do B on Tuesday, and so on. Okay, the next section of our workout is the cardiovascular program. Alright, now we've broken this up based kind of upon your client's level and their schedule. We're going to give them one of 3 workouts. Alright, we have an interval training workout that kind of just explains what to do here. Alright, we have a fasted walking or jogging program for their cardio, or we have a tempo run. Okay, and again, just based upon whether your client is, in more of an anaerobic phase or an aerobic phase, just kind of based upon what they're doing, they would pick one of these 3 things to do as their cardiovascular activity. As their trainer, you're just going to kind of give them, just some simple directions in terms of what to choose. If they're in a higher intensity phase, chances are we're going to, ask them to pick a tempo run, simply to allow for a bit of recovery. Or if they're trying to maybe maintain their weight, they might do interval training 1 or 2 times a week, but it's just kind of variable, so you can help them to, make that determination. For beginners, we start out with the Couch to 5K program. Okay, and this is simply a program to allow the client, or to help the client, to get up to running 5 minutes. Okay, so for a new client, for somebody that's performing our foundation routine, they're simply going to perform this as instructed. All right, it's a 10-week program. They start out with 5 minutes of walking, followed by 2 minutes of jogging and 5 minutes of walking, and then they just add a little bit throughout each week. Gives a little schedule here. I think they're doing it 3 times a week here, until week 10, in which the client is jogging up to 30 minutes on their own. Okay, so just explain that to them. You know, you can Google it, you can familiarize yourself on the internet with it, but this is a routine for beginner clients. Okay, once they can do this Couch to 5K, all right, then we move to this more specific cardiovascular program, all right, because they're ready to handle that. All right, now our last section is our daily postural program. All right, with this, for clients that are locked up or have certain posture issues, you know, we're either going to find that usually the client is either locked up in their hips, in their shoulders, or, you know, in a specific test that we have. And just kind of based upon our testing, you know, we'll indicate which routine that we want them to do on a daily basis. So these are just some simple stretches that they can do on their own to really help to lock things down. Okay, so, you know, in the case of our hip exercises, they roll their hip with the tennis ball, they roll their calf with a tennis ball, and they roll their foot with a tennis ball, and then they do a stretch just to kind of unlock everything. But as it explains here, perform each foam rolling drill for 2 to 3 minutes a day, perform each stretch for 90 to 120 seconds, perform mobility drills for 10 to 20 reps each. So basically you just read down the line, make sure they're doing what they need to do, and, you know, just ask them on a weekly basis, you know, are you doing your stretching, you know, how is that going, and make any adjustments that are necessary. But in summary, the first thing that we want to do is just describe this program to them, inform the client that we will email them after we've described this to them, you know, go over it with them for the first couple weeks, make sure that they understand what they're doing so they have what they need in their off days.